what's up guys? My name's Becky. I'm a Twitch streamer and music producer, and today I wanted to teach you guys about microphones, microphone positioning and polar patterns. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that I do stream every Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday on Twitch doing music and gaming. So if you want to come and hang, make sure to drop me a follow on there. So this video is part of a mini-series I've been working on, which focuses on Twitch audio tips for streaming. But you can take what you've learnt here and apply it to other types of content creation and music, YouTube videos, podcasts and things. This kind of information can be applied to a lot of different things, so it's good to know info. The first two episodes focused on compression and EQ, so if you haven't seen those yet, make sure you go check those out. So I've said this before, but your aim as a content creator is to give value to your viewers. Now this could be through Twitch streaming or other forms of content, YouTube content. And one way to do this is to improve the audio quality of your stream or video that you're putting up online for your viewers. It's going to give them a better listening experience. So for those of you that didn't think audio matters, it does. I think improving the audio quality of your stream is quite subtle, but also necessary. So you could take your stream to the next level just by, filling yourself with knowledge on how to improve your audio. But anyway, let's learn about microphones. Now the mics I'm showing you today do have XLR inputs. You can get USB microphones, but I'll be showing you XLR ones. XLR microphones get plugged into a mixer or a sound interface in order to be able to use them on your computer. So microphones, there's quite a few different types of microphones. The most common two are dynamic and condenser mics. They're the most likely ones you're going to come across when streaming, and you've most likely got one already if you are a Twitch streamer. Dynamic microphones. This microphone I'm currently talking into is a dynamic microphone. It's the Shure SM7B, and I've also got the Shure SM57 here with a little pop shield on. So they're two examples of dynamic mics. An example of a condenser microphone is the Audio-Technica 4040. As you can see, it's a different shape to the dynamic microphones, and many condenser microphones actually look similar to this. But yeah, that's a condenser. So dynamic microphones. They're pretty good at handling loud audio signals. So most of the time when you see like a singer performing live, they've got like a handheld mic, most likely a Shure SM58, but you have all sorts of models. They can handle loud signals and they're more robust, which makes them great for live environments, just in case if they're dropped on the floor, they're more likely to survive kind of thing. They generally have a lower input level than condenser microphones, so they require more gain, but they do pick up less room noise generally. Condenser microphones, a bit more fragile than dynamic. They can't handle loud noises as well. They require less gain input than dynamics. Condenser microphones also generally require phantom power in order to work, and this phantom power can usually be supplied through an audio interface. They also pick up a lot more room noise and acoustics, so these are things to consider when you're choosing your microphone for your stream. I personally prefer using dynamic microphones on my stream because I've got wooden floorboards, as you can see. I've got a big kind of room. The acoustics in this room aren't treated, and most likely for you, they're not treated either, which means that with a condenser mic, you're going to pick up a lot more room noise, a lot more reverb. Even with my dynamic mic, I get reverb because of the acoustics of my room. Let's talk about polar patterns. Some of you may have heard this term before, but some of you may have not. The polar pattern is the range and direction the microphone picks up an audio signal. So there's different types of polar patterns. So number one, the most common one I would say is cardioid. Let's take this microphone. So yeah, it picks up audio in this kind of shape. The Shure SM7B, and it only has one polar pattern, so it's cardioid. That is it, we cannot change it. Which also means it's not going to pick up audio as well from the sides. So if I give you a demonstration, so I'm going to be talking straight into the Shure SM7B, and as I get further away, there's going to be a dB reduction. Now if I go around the sides of the microphone, you will probably start to hear the sound of my voice changing. And then I'm going to come back to the middle and go round the side again. And yeah, you'll probably start to hear my voice kind of cut off a little bit, or just like start to kind of like reduce in dB as it like picks up less of my voice. This is why it's really important that you make sure your microphone's facing the right way. With dynamic microphones, it's a lot easier generally to tell where the front is. So yes, that is an example of cardioid polar pattern. And there are a few different polar patterns. So I've done a little drawing of different types of polar patterns. So you've got cardioid, omnidirectional, supercardioid, hypercardioid, figure of 8. There are more, but I'd say these are the main ones. So let's say like the microphone's in the middle of omnidirectional. That means the signal gets picked up from all around the mic, even the back. Figure of 8 as well means it gets the front and back, but not the sides. Cardioid is mainly the front, a bit of the sides, but no back. Supercardioid and hypercardioid, they pick up mainly most of the noise from the front, but they do pick up a bit of back as well. Hypercardioid is just a further extension of the supercardioid. Sorry, I'm like not holding my paper up on the screen, but that is an example. Kind of look like little mushrooms. Kind of cute. Condenser microphones. I wanted to give you a quick demonstration of how they sound. So this is me talking into my Audio-Technica 4040 with a pop shield as well. Not the most sightly thing, but they do stop the p sounds coming through. Now, this condenser microphone only has one polar pattern setting, and they usually say on the mic, so if I show you, cardioid condenser mic, it says there, and just holding my pop shield up because this one keeps falling down. With condenser microphones, you want to make sure you're speaking into the front of the microphone. Now, this is a cardioid, so it's going to pick up sound from the front. And in order to detect the front of your condenser, you're going to want to have a look at it. You're most likely going to see the brand label on the front. So this means, again, because this is cardioid, it picks up audio from the front and then a bit around the sides, but not the back. So giving a demonstration, talking around the Audio-Technica 4040. See if you can hear me as well. I can't get around the side of it that way. Let me stand up. Giving a demonstration, talking around the side of the microphone and around to the back. I've seen some streamers do this where they point their microphone like this and they talk into it like this. You need to make sure you're talking into the front of it. And I know this doesn't look very good because this keeps falling down. This is for demonstration purposes. I would highly recommend getting yourself a pop shield if you do have a condenser microphone. This one's quite a big one. You can look for smaller ones that aren't as like intrusive. You want to be making sure that you're stopping as much pop-in sounds as possible. Okay. Great example. I've literally just dropped this on the blooming wooden floor and boom, dent. Can you see it? There's a dent in it. So yeah, be really, really careful with these. It just fell. It fell. So I think it's all right. It was the back of it. So hopefully it hasn't like hit any of the inner area. Make sure you look after your equipment and don't drop it because it gets damaged and these things are expensive. Don't do it. Don't. Some microphones have different polar patterns and you can adjust them. So for example, on this one, it's got a cardioid polar pattern here. If I slide it along, we've got an omnidirectional and a figure of 8. So that one comes with 3 settings. I think it depends on the mic. You know, I imagine more expensive microphones will have like more variety of polar patterns. But for streaming, I think all you need to worry about is cardioid. I think that's the best one. So because we're running a cardioid polar pattern, we now need to think about mic positioning for streaming. Now, a lot of you are going to be running keyboard and mouse. And I've seen some people actually have their microphone further back and their keyboard in front. I'm giving an example of having my keyboard in front of the mic with a polar pattern. So I'm going to be like playing my game and you're just going to get my keyboard and it's not going to be very nice for people who are listening, especially if you've got a typewriter keyboard like me. G15, had it for like 10 years. It's done me solid, Logitech, I have to say. You smashed it on the G15. If I sit with my microphone in front of my mouth, nice and close, so you get all the warmth and depth of my voice, and I now start aggressively typing, you should hopefully hear a lot less of it. You'll get a bit of it, but not a lot. But generally, you should always have your keyboard behind your microphone. Some of you might worry that the microphone looks ugly to watch. Just make sure you don't have it like covering your face. So that looks ugly. But if I have it kind of down, I've got a mic arm, position it so that it's not massively in your face. It's kind of covering part of my body, but it's not covering my face. Now you could probably get away with it off to the side a bit, talking slightly across it. It's cardio, so it's going to pick up noise a bit from the side as well. But it's just things to think about. Just make sure you're not talking into it the wrong way. Otherwise, you're not going to get much clarity in your voice. What type of microphone is best for streaming? A subjective question, but for me personally, I think dynamic microphones are best for streaming. And they've got a more broadcast quality tone to them. And for streaming, you kind of want that kind of broadcast sound. So personally, I like dynamic. And also for like room acoustics and that, if you don't have an acoustically treated room, dynamic will pick up less room noise than a condenser does. If you haven't got a mic yet, do some research. You may just want to pick up a USB one because you don't have a mixer. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you've watched all the way to the end of the video, I want you to comment broken microphone in the comments. Just to rub it in that I've dented my mic. But we won't talk about that again. If you wanted to chat to me offline, I do have a Discord server that you can join. I'll post the link down below. You're more than welcome to join. So that kind of concludes my mini series at the moment for Twitch audio. But if you guys have any other questions or anything you feel like you could learn more about, let me know in the comments below. I'm really, really happy with how the YouTube channel's gone so far since doing weekly videos. Originally, I set out to do monthly, but then I just was like, no, I'm doing weekly. And I've stuck to it so far. So that is good. But yep. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will catch you next time. Bye!